This is the Dollemore Daily, and I'm Jesse Dollemore. One thing that has been laid bare over the course of the past few decades, especially over the course of the last half decade, is the ignorance of the Republican Party and their pride in it. How happy they are with being uninformed and not experts on anything. They don't prize education. In fact, they malign higher education. They don't prize expertise. They mock it. And yesterday, the poster child for this element of the Republican Party, Marjorie Taylor Greene, gave a press conference to whine about being temporarily suspended for Twitter for spreading misinformation about the vaccine. And this presser went on for 40 plus minutes. And there are a couple moments from it that I want to talk about because it really highlights what it is I'm talking about here, about the stupidity, the abject ignorance of Republicans, and not just your run-of-the-mill citizen Republicans, but elected officials. Those who we imbue with political power in order that they speak for us. We would expect them to pick up a book. We would expect them to do a little bit of research so they could make an informed decision about how best to represent those who voted for them. Let's talk about this first moment of her just fundamentally misunderstanding what HIPAA is.
Aaron Navarro, CBS News. Whip Scalise said today he got vaccinated, citing this Delta variant that's going around, and said he's confident that it's safe and effective. Two questions. Have you yourself gotten vaccinated, and do you disagree with the Republican whip?
Well, your first question is a violation of my HIPAA rights. You see, with HIPAA rights, we don't have to reveal our medical records, and that also involves our vaccine records.
So the question there is, listen, Steve Scalise, who's the minority whip, he's number 2 in the House of Representatives behind Kevin McCarthy. He got vaccinated. He announced that he got vaccinated for fear of the dangers that are inherent in this new variant of the coronavirus, the Delta variant. Steve Scalise is a white supremacist who said I just want to give some background on who he is. He's somebody who said that he's just like David Duke without all the baggage. He's a loser. He also is a Trump loyalist, absolute. And so what the reporter there is doing is, look, it's somebody who's simpatico with you. They said they're going to get the virus or get the vaccine. What about you? What do you say to that? And then she launches into this incoherent rant about HIPAA rights, that it's a violation of her HIPAA rights to be asked by a reporter whether or not she's gotten the vaccine. Which is, first of all, just a bananas answer to the question at all. Not answering the question is just, you have a responsibility to your constituents to encourage them to be healthy, to encourage them to avoid an absolutely avoidable negative health outcome by not getting the vaccine. So HIPAA rights, just so you know, are that your medical provider cannot share your personal medical information, diagnoses or whatever, with a third party. It has nothing to do with being asked by another citizen whether or not you're vaccinated. Again, ignorance. She's speaking as an expert on something that she has a fundamental misunderstanding about what it is. And she's happy being that person. The same woman who believes that Jews put lasers in space to fire down on California and cause forest fires. The same woman who stalked and harassed a shooting victim of Parkland. The same woman who harasses fellow members of Congress with her bigot flags and chases down AOC. Disgusting. Here's a second moment where the reporter, I want to give a little background on what the reporter is asking. Earlier in the presser, she was talking about the fact that people need to get in better shape, and obesity is a cause of illness with the coronavirus. I don't want to be too unfair to Marjorie Taylor Greene. I want to give her that. And then the reporter is asking a question about children getting sick from the virus, and that even skinny kids are getting sick. To which Marjorie Taylor Greene cackles with delight at a question about children dying and getting gravely ill from the disease. She laughs like a donkey. And then she's asked about her belief in science. Watch this.
Responsibility for keeping people in Georgia safe. You know, there are children, skinny people who have died of the coronavirus. Do you feel any responsibility?
Tia, you crack me up. You know what? I think people's responsibility is their own to read the information, and it's everywhere. You can't go by any street corner practically and not see something about COVID-19. I believe in people's own individual responsibility to read, to find out, and to make their own decision.
Do you believe in science, though?
I believe in God, and of course, there is science. I don't worship science or think that science rules everything. I believe that God rules everything.
What? Do you believe in science? I drive a car. I eat carrots. What? Believing in God wasn't the question. It wasn't the information that was trying to be gleaned from your answer, whether you believe in God or not. Marjorie Taylor Greene. It's, do you believe that science is accurate? Do you believe that the processes that are endeavored by scientists to uncover cures for disease, preventative measures on the part of science, the conclusions that science reaches, do you believe that is factual and truth? Not, do you believe in God? No one worships science. Dumb shit. And the cackle and the laugh when asked a question about people dying from the coronavirus is callous, to say the least, and psychopathic, possibly. This is the best the Republican Party has to offer. This is who they're putting up. This is who they refuse to punish for her racism, for her lack of understanding of simple things, like the historicity of the Holocaust and the horrors that were visited upon the Jewish people. I just learned about this as an adult. I shouldn't compare wearing a mask to being a Jew and murdered by Nazis. Disgusting. Stupid. Ignorant. What do you think, though? I'd love to know. You can call, leave me a voicemail, 714-576-4054. Of course, you can email me daily at dollemore.com. I would love to hear from you. I'd love to have you connect with me on social media. You can shoot me questions there. Instagram, Twitter, TikTok now. I love you guys. I appreciate the time that you spend with me each and every day, or the very days that you do. I would appreciate if you would consider supporting my work here on the platform if I bring you value. If you're, hate watching, certainly don't. But if there's somebody out there on YouTube or otherwise that you get more value from, support that person. It doesn't have to be me, although I certainly would appreciate you helping produce my work. You can also do it on Patreon, patreon.com/IDoubtItPodcast. Anyway, I love you guys. I will see you soon. Until I do, be genuine. Take care of one another.